Yo, what's going on? It's Justin, and honestly, it really sucks to be talking about what we're going to be talking about today, and that's the actual state of Overwatch and the future state of Overwatch and everything that is to come. My interest in this topic peaked when I saw this screenshot. I'm not constantly watching Overwatch streams on Twitch, but I do watch enough of it to know that this is not the Overwatch that I have seen on Twitch. Like, even with League going right now, there still isn't a lot of energy and life in this game. And seeing that low number really, really was sad and kind of disheartening in a way. It made me feel like this game actually really is dying, like no meme. For almost like 2 years now, people have always said that this game is dead, and it's just been a stupid meme at that point. And I've never considered this game to be even remotely dead until just now when I saw that screenshot. And paired with me seeing that screenshot, the lack of updates and the updates that we do get that are just these bullshit seasonal ones that don't add anything to the game or contribute anything of any sort of substance or depth, it's just really, really unfortunate. Like, it takes the entire life out of me. And really, you sort of just realize that, like, what do you do on this game? You queue, you win a few games, you lose a few games, and then what do you accomplish? In some instances, people have these goals of climbing out of whatever rank they're in, whether it be, gold to platinum, platinum to diamond, or masters to top 500. That's a good thing to have. It's a good thing to keep somebody on the hook for playing this game. Maybe you want the gold weapon, maybe you want to play to level up so you can earn loot boxes and have skins, but there's just not a lot of depth, and it finally hit me that we don't have anything that we're playing towards. And I just want to admit to you guys fully that the life has actually been sucked out of me from this game. Playing this game just feels like a chore, and I'm sure it does to a lot of people too. In my instance, I have been very, very close to top 500. I was actually a game away from it. I've leveled up and saved like over 1,000 loot boxes. Like, I don't know, I'm gold border right now, like gold border almost with a star. So I don't know exactly how much loot boxes that is from leveling, but people play this game maybe to get loot boxes and to level up. But the sad reality is that there is no depth even in that because there's no leaderboards for how much XP you have on this game. In fact, leveling up and having your border look more seasoned than a new accounts border, people will make fun of you for that. For whatever reason on this game, it's more admirable that you've bought multiple accounts than it is that you've played on one account. It's ridiculous, and it removes even more depth. As a community, we've removed more depth in that regard, on top of the depth that we lack from the developers. Now, let's subtract the opinions of other people from what I just said. When you level up, what do you have to show for it besides the border? There's no leaderboards. You don't unlock anything special for leveling up that high. You get literally nothing for it. And we just accept that. You're telling me somebody who has like 3,000 hours on this game and they're the max level, like the highest level that you possibly can be with the highest ranked border that you can have, they don't even get like a spray or something? A lack of depth is what is killing this game. Terrible, terrible development choices are what is killing this game. The biggest wound that this game ever suffered was Brigitte being added to the game how she was. That is a wound that I still don't think we have fully recovered from. That character alone was enough to drive away the core player base from Overwatch or make people not interested in playing it anymore. And they kept her exactly how she was for far too long. Like, where even is the development in that? At that point, it's not a matter of development choices, it's a lack of. And that bugs me on a consumer level. On a level where, as a player, I don't feel like we are being taken seriously. And that's fair. I don't know anything about development, and I completely acknowledge that. There are some things that are the way they are for reasons that I will never understand. But the fact that Blizzard laid off 800 employees and Jeff wasn't one of them is actually disgraceful. Somebody needs to go. There is choices that aren't being made and choices that are being made that are destroying this game, and he is the head that oversees all of it. He, more than anybody, needs to go. And don't give me that dumb, cute shit that he's this big, innocent, huggable, lovable guy, because he's not. He really isn't. Like, I'm not fooled by that facade that he has going on. Just because Dino Flats puts together a bunch of shitty videos every month doesn't mean anything about his character. You know what does mean something about his character is that he's this guy.
What the hell do you people want? Do you just go play Mystery Heroes? Like, if you want random heroes every match, Mystery Heroes is now available for you in the arcade. You're super awesome, and there is no meta. Like, the reality is, south of, let's say, Diamond,
Okay.
no one's playing goats. Or even if they're playing Reinhardt and Zarya and Brigitte, and all the other characters that comprise goats, they're not playing goats. It's just like, at gold and platinum, when we pick Winston and Diva, we weren't really playing dive. We
Yeah.
were just kind of
Picking them to pick it.
yeah, like we're like, oh, I read on our competitive Overwatch, this is what everybody's playing.
Right.
Everyone's gonna hate me for that answer. But I said it. There you go.
There are so much things that are wrong with what he said there, but first things first. The way that he completely disregards the highest amount of people, the largest majority on Overwatch being like, platinum and gold, like that area. There are more platinum and gold players than there are anything else. I think like 3% of the players on the entirety of Overwatch are like masters, high masters, and above. Their opinions on things matter too. Just because they're not in the top 500, like the other 3%, doesn't mean like anything at all. Their opinions are just as important as my opinion or any of you watching this, regardless of your rank. If you are a player of this game, your opinion should matter. And when this game first came out, it didn't seem that far-fetched to have ideas or to have opinions on how things should be. It seemed like we were taken seriously, and now that's just all squandered. And to boot in that clip, why is he talking about GOATs as if platinum players are the ones who are complaining about it? Platinum people are not the ones who are complaining about it. Masters and top 500 are the people who are complaining about it. People in your Twitch chat watching Overwatch League are the ones who are complaining about seeing GOATs getting played. It's not platinum or gold players or even diamond players. It quite literally is masters and above that are complaining about it because it affects us the most. Later on in that clip, he acknowledges that at higher ranks that the more competitive players will pick the best heroes and they will take these heroes to the fullest of their extent that they can go. And that's absolutely acceptable. That's the way that video games are. There's no denying that. But when every single game is GOATs, literally every single game, and people are that bent out of shape about it after doing the exact same thing every single game over and over again, that's a problem. That's a legitimate problem and a legitimate complaint. Nobody wants mystery heroes. We want answers. We want context as to why the game is being kept like this. We want context as to if we can even fix the scenario of GOATs being so powerful. And I just feel like we've come so far from the point that the guy who typed this before he worked at Blizzard completely disregards that he was the exact same person in my position who was disappointed in a game that is really good, that has all this potential in the world to be the best. Where did Jeff Kaplan lose himself and start disrespecting the players that make up Overwatch that much when he typed out shit like this back in the day? All Overwatch is the same repetitive thing for nothing in return over and over again. And this is the exact process that it goes in. I launched the game after being tired of it and burnt out on it to see that I've decayed. I was like 3,700. Fuck me. I deserve to decay down all the way to 3,000 even, because clearly the difference between being 3,700 and being at 3,000 is really not that great, right? For whatever reason, it's absolutely necessary to decay people who are in Masters, all the way down to 3,000 where I would be playing with Platinum, Gold, and Diamond players. We're getting off topic though. The order of things that happen when you're playing this game is you play until you're burnt out, you've had enough of GOATs, you've had enough of toxic games, you've had enough of people throwing games, you've had enough of levers, you've had enough of the occasional cheater, so you don't play. You play something different that's really fun. You calm down a little bit, then you come back to Overwatch to discover that you decayed again, and you restart the entire process. And that is what Overwatch is. This is what Overwatch has become. This next sentiment had a brief little cameo in the last video that I put out on Overwatch, but it deserves its own spot here. In about 5 seconds, I showed the entirety of the last update that Overwatch gave us. Cosmetic bullshit, and a game mode that, as far as I am concerned, capture the flag, that should always be an arcade anyways. As far as I am concerned, competitive capture the flag, that should always be a game mode anyways. That was what our update was. So let me go down the line of depth with you. We've talked about why there's no point in leveling up. We talked about how competitive is super repetitive. Rhymes. The lack of depth that we have goes so far, even with arcade, because there should always be a competitive arcade mode, but there for some reason isn't. Why are we just now getting competitive capture the flag back? There should always be something competitive there. There should never be any downtime in between, especially when arcade mode offers all of these game modes that it offers. And competitive capture the flag was one of my favorite things that they ever added to this game. And it sucks because why do they only have it around once a year for like a few months? Competitive capture the flag completely mixes up the meta and brings in this entire new play style. And at this point, there's probably not even enough players to make up a competitive capture the flag. It takes like 10 minutes now at any given time of the day to find a game of competitive in like 3,700 and up. It's just sad, dude. It's sad that this game is actually turning out the way that people have memed about it being. In the same way with TF2, how I felt betrayed, I feel betrayed now. I would trade every single cosmetic update that they give us for something that adds something to the game. I would rather never get any sort of cosmetic bullshit ever again than to have to be given recycled bullshit every update. Because this isn't necessarily about a competitive depth that I'm seeking. This is about even things on a fun scale being added. when we have these Christmas updates and the Halloween updates, we're not given new things. We're given the recycled game mode, and that is it. I said this before, and I'll say it again. I used to think that my ideas and our ideas as a community weren't so far-fetched. I used to think that we could have these ideas and we could talk to each other and like post on Reddit or in the comments section or make videos about what we think would be cool, and it wouldn't be such a far-fetched idea for something that would happen in the game. Now I feel like this isn't our game anymore. This is not the game that we had. This is something completely fucking different. And this is more of a me thing that I'm going to talk about. I know you guys don't give a shit about me, but making content on this game honestly was something that I never thought I wouldn't want to do. And these days, it is so hard for me to even want to launch Overwatch. I used to love making Overwatch content. I love YouTube. I love making videos. And, you know, a lot of you will just comment, the people who do hear this, which thank you, by the way, for even watching this far. You'll be like, oh, we'll just play another game and upload different videos. Look at how terribly my last video did. My last video was a Rainbow Six video, and it was a sponsored video. And even though it was sponsored and I played it because I was sought out to play it by Ubisoft, I enjoyed the absolute hell out of that. And the video that I made is fucking awesome. That video is fire. It's super funny. There's lots of good stuff that happened in it. You know, it was a good overall, feels good to edit, feels good to watch video. But it's not Overwatch. So, like, you know, who gives a shit? You know, and that's what's the worst part about it, is that, like, I want to do these other things, but Overwatch has just held me captive, and I'm inside of a cell made of Overwatch. I'm in a prison with Genji and Tracer, and they're both taking turns fucking me. I'm really bored with both of them. They're both really mundane and they don't do anything sexy to me. And I know it's going to be really rough for me, and I know this is just how the world works, and I'm not asking for sympathy, but I have a lot invested in Apex right now. I don't think it's quite the game that people have hyped it up to be, and I do think that time will tell as to whether or not this is going to be the best game of all time. And I think what it will come down to is the updates that it's given. But I'm really enjoying Apex right now, and I'm going to do Apex videos no matter how much views they get. But if I could say one thing to you guys who are actually listening out there right now, it's to go watch my Rainbow Six video. And it's to try to look out for my videos in your recommended feeds or your subscription feeds if you still look for that. And look for videos from me that aren't Overwatch related, and just give me a chance in that regard. Even after saying all this stuff in this video, I do love Overwatch and I do want to see this game succeed. It sucks that we're seeing some of the most talented content creators leave this game for other games and to make other content. It sucks a lot, and it bothers me. And I've always been really proud that I've stayed true to you guys and I've stayed true to myself in always making content about this game, because it's a game that we both enjoy, and that's why we're all here. That's why I'm here making these videos, and that's why you're here watching these videos. It's because we have the mutual enjoyment of Overwatch. But all these other people leaving it and no longer enjoying it quite how they used to, pro players moving on, the whole entire Twitch category of Overwatch being at like 8,000 people, which is ridiculous. That's 8,000 total people watching it for all the people streaming it, because nobody who is actually worth watching is streaming it anymore, because they've moved on to Overwatch League or Apex or Fortnite, God forbid. The amount of people who are leaving Overwatch and the lack of things that we are currently getting in Overwatch is just so sad, dude, because I fucking love this game. I honestly don't regret any goddamn thing that I've ever put into this game. And at a certain point when TF2, you guys will know this, but I resented that game and I actually felt betrayed and like I had wasted so much of my time. I regretted it. I don't quite feel that way anymore these days because I have forgiven that game, but I'm getting towards that with this game, with Overwatch. But I am not ready to give up just yet. And this is not my resignation. If I'm going down swinging, and I'm going down staying true to the person that I know that I am. So moving forward, what we're going to be doing is I am going to be doing some Apex videos in the future here, and I really hope that you guys will look out for them and be appreciative of them, because I know that I'm going to be enjoying that much more than always having to throw together an Overwatch video. But with me saying that, I am going to continue going down the path of Overwatch. If this game is going down, I am more than happy and more than proud to go down with it until the bitter end. I love this game. This game has given me way too much good times, and it's given me way too much things in life, even because of all the YouTube videos I made. And I'm not going to just abandon it like that. So there will always be Overwatch content. And I will be doing another episode of Overwatch Confessions, by the way. It's coming. You just got to wait for it. And lastly, the last announcement I would like to make is that I'm going to try streaming. I'm going to try streaming Overwatch, and I'm going to be streaming it on this YouTube channel. And it's going to be soon, and we're going to kick it all off with me doing a loot box opening. We're going to open all the loot boxes. There's going to be challenges. I'm going to have wax strips. I'm a hairy guy, so if I get like, you know, a gold or something, hair is going to be coming off my body. There's going to be other YouTubers involved. It's going to be really fun times, really fun moments, but stay tuned for that. But, you know, I just wanted to talk about this game and how disappointed I am and how sad I am about the current state of Overwatch, the current state of content regarding on Overwatch with me and other people. And, you know, I love you guys, and I'm happy that I was able to make this video. It felt good to get this all off of my chest. There's nothing wrong with being burnt out. It's a part of life, and I'm happy to share this with you guys, this negative part of my life with you guys. And when I start streaming, that's another thing that I'm looking forward to, is that I'm going to be happy to share a more authentic part of myself with you, because I know that in these videos, I give off this like really asshole-ish, like negative persona, and you guys think it's not on purpose, but you know, it is. I'm authentic in that regard with how I act in the videos that you see, but you have to understand that it's in a microscope and you can't possibly see the entirety of my being and how I feel about things with just the clips that are uploaded in these videos by me. With live streaming, you will. You'll get to see exactly how I am, and maybe I will warm up to some of you. But I don't know. We're getting like just really far off base, but you know, as always, I'm Justin, and you're motherfucking not. Thank God you guys are not. You're welcome that I'm taking the bullet for you guys and being Justin. But yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.